Howdy, Mojave D here. I'm doing well. I hope you are doing well. We're going to play the Stanley Parable. Now, this game was not on the radar at all until very recently, and then it's just a whole bunch of people won. I think after we just finished Inside, which is just a fabulous experience, man. And and then Stanley Parable. So if you're new, or this is the first video of this channel you've ever seen, it's an old scruffy guy, 73-year-old scruffy man playing video games that he's never heard of, and games that young people play, and not 73-year-old scruffy people. But when I hear the name Stanley, I gotta tell you, I always think of the very first vehicle I ever purchased with my own money. Got my first bank loan, right? And it was a 1969 Chevy van, which my mother referred to as a passion pit. I said, "No, Mom, it's for camping." See, Stanley the Vanley, which is what my girlfriend called it, was a cargo van. So there's no windows on the sides, and it had a 6-inch foam mattress across the entire bed of it and in the back, which was covered with shag carpeting, and it had the fake wood paneling on the walls, and it only had 2 seats, and they were bucket seats, tuck and roll upholstery, the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And I think because of the big bed in the back, it was a bed. It was all just bed. It was a 6-inch foam mattress covered with shag carpeting. So my mother called Stanley the Vanley a passion pit. I said, "No, Mom, it's for camping, so I don't have to sleep on the ground in a tent," which is true. I did, in fact, use it that way. My guy friends, my male friends, called it the Starship Intercourse. And, of course, my girlfriend called it Stanley the Vanley. So whenever I see Stanley, I always think of my first vehicle. I took out a $1,500 loan for that 1969 van. I can't remember. I can't remember how much I put down on it. Probably $500 down. I saved my money and had $500 to put down on it. And I tell you a story about that. So it was for college. I had a 1969 Yamaha motorcycle that I had been using for transportation in college, but it was hard to make the 100-mile drive home, for Christmas and Easter and that kind of stuff. My mom was worried about me, being out there on the highways and byways on a motorcycle, to ride back and forth. And anyway, so I bought this thing. I got to tell you, here's the funny story. So I had a house that I was renting for college for $80 a month, 1-bedroom house, and it was just a very cheap. Oh no, not leaf blowers. Leaf blowers. All right, I'm gonna pause. We'll wait for the leaf. I'm gonna go out there and kick the leaf blower's butt, and somebody running a leaf blower. I hate leaf blowers, and I'll come back and finish the story. Okay, we took care of the leaf blower. Now, where was I? I hate them so much. All they do is blow stuff up in the air. Whatever happened? Do we still make rakes and brooms? I'm gonna open my own landscaping business and say we don't blow. We use rakes and brooms. I bet I'd have more business, more customers than you could shake a stick at. I can't be the only person who hates those things. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Stanley the Vanley, the Starship Intercourse, the Passion Pit. A house in college. I bought Stanley in 1971. He was the van was a '69 Chevy van, so I bought it used. But it had low miles on it. 3 on the tree. For those of you who know what 3 on the tree means, racing tires on it. It was sexy. Mag wheels and all that. Anyway, house. It was actually like a guest house for the people that owned like the main house. But it had its own driveway, a little driveway. You could only fit like one car in the driveway. It was a small house, $80 a month. They would rent it out to college kids, which I was. Believe it or not, I wasn't always like, me. Anyway, I go out one morning to go to class. I had an 8 a.m. Economics class that I had to get to, and I go out and I get in the van and I fire it up, and I hear in the back, Dave, my name's David, he's Dave. Dave was you guys would love Dave. He was just, everybody did, literally. To know him was to love him. He was quite a guy. He always greeted me the same way whenever he would see me, and sometimes he would greet me like this from 20 yards away. Like he could, we'd be on campus. He could be 20 yards away, and he always did the same thing. And he had a deep voice, a real deep voice. The girls loved him because he just had a lot of charisma. But he would always go, Dave. He would put his arms out like he's going to hug me, like, Dave. And I hear this. I fire up the engine, and I hear, Dave. I'm like, I turn around, and he's back there with Deidre. Or maybe it was Erlene. No, Erlene, it wouldn't be Erlene. It would be Erlene was too classy. It was probably Deidre. So we got the triple D in the van there. David, Dave, and Deidre. Apparently, they had been on a date, and of course, Dave lived with his parents, and I'm pretty sure it was Deidre. Deidre lived with her parents, and so at the end of the date, I guess, I had left the doors. The back doors were opened like this, right? They're double doors on the back of the van because it's a cargo van, loading things in and out. I had apparently left it unlocked, and they decided that was a lot cheaper than getting a cheap motel room. Dave goes, I'm like, what? I didn't notice his car. His car was parked on the street. I didn't notice his car. I'm like, what? And he goes, where are we going? I said, well, we're going to economics class. And he goes, oh, I hate economics. And he and Deidre pile out the back of the van and get in his car and drive away. And I'm just like, okay, so the parable there is lock your back doors on your van. Okay, enough of that nonsense. Let's fire it up. So first time firing up, know nothing about it. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. And I probably need to put my head somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know where to put it on this. But I'm glad you're here. Appreciate that very much. And the Stanley parable. So a parable is what? It's a made-up story that illustrates a truth, a real truth. So let's find out what the real truth is. The real truth is, if you have a van and you're in college, lock the doors. I was reading a coffee mug. Developed by Crows, Crows, and Crows. Sounds like a law firm. Please choose a screen and subtitle language. Well, English? Is that okay? English. Oh, let's do Italian. Oh, Polish? Portuguese. Well, Francais. Italiano. Okay, I said English. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? I never heard of the Stanley Parable until last week. No. I almost said yes. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. I'm sorry, I gotta go through the settings, guys. Well, that's barely visible to me. Okay. Please enter the current time. Why? Are they collecting data on me? It's 9:49. We'll say 9:50. Because by the time I get this done, it'll be 9:50. Oh, great, it went to 8. No, but there we go. I just clicked over, there. It just clicked over to, how do now I can't get to the confirm. I can't get to the confirm button. How do This is a trick. Is this a trick? I can't confirm. There we go. No, AM. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Accessibility settings can't be accessed from the main menu. Okay, who cares what time it is? You are playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Begin get settings. We're in a call center. Field of view. What is that going to change? Camera sensitivity. We'll just do that. Controller, sure. Vibrate English on. Subtitles on. That you can't be serious. He is not coming back through with that leaf blower. Subtitle background. Show reticle. Do I need a reticle? I don't think I do. I don't know. Cancellation labels. Enables labels on top of in-world text. I don't know. Low dexterity mode reduces difficulty for time-sensitive inputs and precision. Low dexterity? That's insulting. I have lost a tremendous amount of my dexterity from my youth. I wonder if I should put that in auto walk. Auto walk input will alternate between walking and stopping. So this is for time-sensitive inputs and precision platforming. I'm gonna, I'm gonna leave it all off. Reset settings, delete save data, audio, leaf blower. That I'll be right back. Okay, he's fertilizer now, and I am not in the mood. I'm in a fighting mood now. I need to go. I'm not in the mood. I don't know if this is a fighting game. I don't know. And I need to go play like God of War or something where I can go smash. All right, let's begin the game. The end. What did it say? I didn't get.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Well, good.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Is that me? It's me. I'm working it. I'm in control here. Button pushing, man. If this is going to be a test of button pushing, I'm in for a hard time, man. It's going to be a hard hour, man. Because that's the wrong time. It's 10:14. I hate Mondays, I think it says. I can't read the... Somebody's cleared out his file cabinets. Got a little step stool down there. I can't read these. Well, Stanley likes his job. He loves pushing buttons, but he can only push buttons that he's told to push. I have a bad feeling about this. And what am I? I'm 427. How about 428? Can we X?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Can we look around first? This person hates Mondays too. Now see, I can't relate to that. I never had a job that had Saturdays and Sundays off. You can't read any of them.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You know what this guy reminds me of? What just came to my mind? Oh God, what was it called? Fractured Fairy Tales. It was a cartoon. Probably should be like paying attention to it. Is this like a detective? Down underneath the desk, G814-F1. Who farted? Fractured Fairy Tales. They had a narrator, and they did cartoon versions, trying to make them funny of fairy tales. Rapunzel, Hansel and Gretel, Goldilocks, that kind of thing. It was back in the 60s. Who farted? So in one kitchen that I worked in, I was in the restaurant business. That's why I never had Saturday and Sunday off. So I don't know why people hate Monday. Or I can't relate to that. Well, I guess I could relate to it. So like if I had Monday and Tuesday off, then Wednesday would be my Monday. But I didn't hate it. Anyway, we had a board back in the kitchen, a whiteboard that you could write. I could write things on it, duties and information that the kitchen would need with a marker. And one of the cooks wrote HOOF and then HEARTED, hoof-hearted. He wrote, nobody ever fessed up to it, wrote in big letters, hoof-hearted. So, like when you read it, yeah, you get who farted, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I digress. But, yeah, that cartoon show had a narrator who was a similar style to what this guy is doing. 434, 435, 437, 430, 429. Why does it go 2930? Okay, so the numbers are weird. Aren't like you've got 27, 28, 29. The sequence is kind of weird. Isn't it? I mean, wouldn't it go like, and then you have 37. I mean, wouldn't it go 27, 28, 29, 30, 31? All right, I'll shut up. Where was I supposed to go? I like work. I just hate my boss. Smile. That's nice. I like that. That's Colorado. And they blocked out the windows. X interacts. See, the numbers don't make sense. 20, 25, 26, 24. I'm looking for clues. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I need somebody to tell me what to do. Stanley has not received any orders. So Stanley, lots of different rooms. Lots of rooms. Hoof-hearted. A hoof-hearted person. Is this keeping real time? Yeah, everybody hates Mondays, and somebody spilled coffee, and it landed in the shape of a smashed opossum or a big fat rat. So I can't get into anything. Oh, a step ladder going up into the false ceiling. And this one is 417. 416. Okay, now at least the numbers are making some sense. That looks like someplace in Europe. So this is like a puzzle game. I'm gonna have to...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did he? Well, what if I don't? What if I go right? Okay, so this is choices. Choices. So do you... Well, Stanley's obedient. Stanley needs... Well, but Stanley's not being given orders. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. We'll do what he says. For now. What? Hey. 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 Spooky. Are they gonna like? Are there zombies in this? I don't like zombies. I don't want zombies. Same picture. Same picture. We haven't seen this one before. Tips for not getting fired. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. You have a whiteboard manager? I am the whiteboard manager. Do not mess with me. R.I.P. Rest in peace, Franz. Is there a marker? I want to write hoof-hearted on here. Meeting room. Monday. Weekly targets. Admin. Marketing. Mondays. 4:51's private time. Group 4 hugs and kisses? I don't know. Group 4 SX. This box is too small. Office party on Friday. Weekly review. IT department. We're broke Wednesday. Financial panic meeting. Boss's inspection. Termination Tuesday. Nice. Okay. Termination Tuesday. There was a Monday in one restaurant. I got sent to it to fix it. I had to do that on... They used me for that on several occasions. And so I had to go... A restaurant that's failing, that's in trouble. And so I go in to fix it. And I fired 11 people in one day. Now, I spent time there. I spent like a week there assessing things and trying to figure out what the problems were and how to fix them. And I fired 11 people. on one day, on Monday. They called it Bloody Monday. It wasn't Tuesday. I should have done it on Tuesday. We could have called it Termination Tuesday. Instead, I had a Bloody Monday where I fired 11 people in one day. And they knew something was up because all week long I'd been interviewing and hiring. So I had hired six. I'd hired six of good people, people that I interviewed, and I knew, okay, this person, I want this one, I want this one, I want, I interviewed like probably 30 people. I hired six and fired 11. But I should have done it on Tuesday, Termination Tuesday. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Okay. Employee 417, 491, 431, 4. Okay, I'm just trying to get clues. I don't know that I need clues. Not cost efficient. Targets. Stand. I can't read it. Whatever it is, it's not cost efficient. Who moved my desk? I just come to work and push buttons that they tell me to push. Somebody's running the slide projector. Ooh, who's doing that? Am I going to figure anything out by looking at this? Please do not staple. What? Steal. Steal? Please do not steal. Don't steal my coffee. I hate Mondays. All these people hate Mondays. Bi-quarterly post-review. We need more. Scratched out. We need less reviews. 402 plus 405. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. More water cooler eaters. Charts need to be more hip, man. To appeal to teenage demographic, you know. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. It's like, remember like a couple of months ago, the Democrats spent $20 million and they had a meeting to try and figure out how to attract young male voters for the Democrat Party. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net, some sort of child trap, a lot of percent. That's great. That's good. That's good. The pie chart, that's a lot of percent. Spare space between the teenagers. Size of demographic. Throw something in the idea bin. No more bins. Trash cans. Renaming of the idea can. Idea bin. Oh, God. Okay, who's clicking on this? Do I need to read all this? What do people want? Things. You want things. Just want some things. Violet James, you are fired. What does this say? What did James want? Violet James. Violet. He wants happy feelings. The stock market is somewhere here. Colored in segment. Stripes requires more secondary research. What is not? Target demographic, teenagers. What is hot? Profits, profits, profits. Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. And what's this all about? Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same. Okay, this is a sarcastic game. This is a game about sarcasm. To do, synergize, core value expenditures, shift global market paradigm, monetize free to play solving personal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined toward what are your dreams? Pollution, metamorphosis, comatose, tips for not getting fired, talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day with no exception or promotion. Don't get fired. How to solve a dispute with the goal. Let it ball up inside you, take it out passive aggressively, resent coworkers, and that's make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header. Okay, sarcasm is the name of the game. We have a broom closet, and I can open the broom closet, and they don't. Okay, I see what they're doing. So it's like a maze, and your decisions lock you in. We have a
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh, there's a pipe wrench. There's duct tape. There's a crescent wrench. There's some pliers.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
It's not empty, sir.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What's that? Fooling around? Well, can I get the broom?
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yeah.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yeah.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Well, there's stuff in here, and you said there wasn't stuff in here. You said there wasn't stuff in here.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Okay,
I never would have thought to mention it.
Well, you didn't mention that. If you would have mentioned that in the beginning, that if you would have led with
Maybe
that,
to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
dude, if you had led with what you said, that it is a...
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Well, your mama's so fat when she sits around the house, she sits around
Well, I've come to
the
a very
house.
definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
What?
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen.
All incorrect.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
All incorrect.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
You don't know who
All right. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay. All of this could have been avoided if you would have not said there is nothing in here, that it is completely empty. That's what you said. And so what do you think a person who sees a mop bucket, a broom, duct tape, and wrenches and pliers is going to do, and boxes? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to...
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Uh-oh. And this door gonna lock behind me? They're trapping me. I feel like a rat in a maze.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What if Stanley went downstairs? You're pissing me off, dude. Oh, it's red. Red, blood red. Okay, we'll go to... Okay, you know what? For now, I'm gonna... Okay, we'll follow what he says to do. But if he... Uh-oh, this is red too. Blood red. Red means dead. So whether I go up, I should have gone through the door on the right. It's going to close behind me, isn't it? What if I just stand? Can I put my foot in it? Can I put something in the door to keep it from locking behind me? Go ahead. Lock it. Lock it. Do what you told. Lock the door. I'm not going to lock the door. Executive bathroom. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Extreme bathrooms? Is that the outside of our building? Interact with anything, but at least the doors aren't locking behind me, so I have options to go back. I can go back. No, I can't. You dirty dogs. Blood red. Can I jump? I can't jump. Up on a desk. The beige pages. Well, you've got yellow pages in there too. This is all like the brothel red. Library. I do not want to get locked in this room. I'm going to get locked in this room. Should we go back? Oh, I can't go back. I could have gone back. Okay. Decisions and choices. Lock. Go ahead, lock.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I'm writing that down. 2845, because I'll forget. Because I'm retired.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Well, you said there was no sign of human life. This is sign of human life right here. Okay, animals don't
2845.
Animals don't make pianos and fireplaces and bookcases. You keep misspeaking, sir. You keep saying things that aren't true. You said there was no sign of human life, and there is a ton.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. screwed up. Dude, I was getting here. 4. No, 2. Well, I can't see it now. Can I? Where's the backspace? Oh yeah. Okay. So, whoop. It's too sensitive. 2. What happened to the 2? I can't see the dang. It's too sensitive. I need to. No, that's a 3. Okay, the 2 was here. No, not everything is 3 now. 2. Okay. 2. 8. Where was the 4? Nope. Dang it. Okay. Okay. Now I forget where the 2 was. 2. 0? I went too low. Okay, where's the 8? 8. I need to find the 5. That's the 6. Okay. So, 2. Okay. 2. 8. The 4 was... No! How could that be the 2? 2. 8. That should be 4. So do they keep moving around? 1, 2. There's the 5. Okay. So 2. Ah! They moved it. Okay, screw you. Am I supposed to, like, just luckily find these? Because I keep moving them. Okay, the 2 was here. 5. Okay, 2. 8. I can't find the 4. 2, 8. 4, 3. This is the 5. 3. 2, 8. If you were a 4, where would you be? Doesn't make sense. This is going to be a 3. Oh. Okay, that's... I can't see it. I need to change the... Okay, 4. Ah! And the 5 was over here? No. No, you bastards. 2, 8. No! 8. 8. Okay. Okay. 2, 8. The 4 was over here. 4. And the 5 was right there. 2. You guys are pissing me off now. You are just pissing me off. 2. No! Okay. The 2 is... 2 is here. This thing is too sensitive. 2. No! Oh, they're all 5. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. 2, 8, 4, 5. I thought they were all in their own rows. 2, 8, 4, 1. 2, 5. Okay, fine. Okay. This is stupid. Okay, 2. 8. The 4 was over here. I can't see the squares. 4. Why is there a 1? Why is there even a 1 in this game? 2, 8. The 4 was over here. I swear. I swear it was. Too sensitive. It keeps moving too fast. A 4? 1, 1. 2, 5. 8, 2. 1. Okay, why are we getting 1s? A 2, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 2, 8. I can't find the 4. The 4 was, I swear it was there. 4. I'm not happy. I am not happy. I wonder what happens if I push this. Can we go up? I pushed up. Well, now we're going down.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Excuse me.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Camera. Activates a camera. That's the only thing I can interact with. Therefore...
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where freedom meant nothing. You know what this looks like? This looks like, have you ever been, no you haven't, back in the 427, there I am. Or there he is. In the security in a casino. When you're in a casino in Vegas, a resort, you're on camera all the time, and they have all these cameras back there being monitored by the security personnel.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Uh-oh. Well, they're leading me on.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never!
No!
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Well, he could quit and go work somewhere else.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh yeah, how? I mean, he... 1, 2... So is this a game about, is the parable about you, not me, you being controlled by your habitual playing a video game? There's 5. Okay, we have a 1 and a 2. We need a 3, 4, 5. Or is it about them and life as a code writer? Is this about the life of a code writer? I'm not going to click on anything. I can't. I can click on 1, 2, and 5, but of course 3 and 4 are non-existent. There's 1 and 2. So I'm not going to start pushing buttons unless I know where they all are. So we know where 1 and 2 is. But we don't know where 3, 4 is. Okay, that's a trap. Or, I mean, we're blocked in. Well, we can go down. Apparently. Huh. Well, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I'm a boomer, man. I'm a boomer, and we boomers just don't know nothing about pushing computer buttons. no button pusher. I wasn't raised pushing buttons, man. I'm dead. I mean, okay, I need a break is what I need. Because I'm tired. Because I'm a boomer. And boomers get tired. And boomers need naps, damn it. What I do? Can we have a nap time? Is it nap time yet? 5. Okay, 5. Screw you.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Workplace rage among code writers,
Blackness,
developers,
and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Well, I need a break.
Yes. He had won.
What I won.
He had defeated the machine.
I did.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Okay.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. You can quit. But that doesn't look real. That's a frickin' screen.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Why don't I believe you? The end is never the end is never the end. Okay. First off, camera sensitivity. There's something uncomfortable. I don't know if it's a sensitivity, if I need to put it up or down. Let's put it down because it moves too freely. Okay, hold up. Begin the game again, resume the game. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quit and find another job. Sometimes that is the answer. Sometimes getting fired is the best thing that could possibly happen to you. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and have a cup of coffee and a puff. I'll be back in a minute. Well, I beat the game. That's it. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it very much. No, kidding. Begin the game again. I want to go to settings. Where's the no? I want to lighten it up because I couldn't see that board. Okay, resume.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Or did he?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
All right. Get your act together, Bubba.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
That is me in every dungeon in every game. It's like, okay, you know, I get lost in dungeons in every game, navigating dungeons. So this is a parable about making video games.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
From the top.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh. Well, the story is the door on the left. Oh, you dirty dogs. You dirty dogs.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Hey!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, now you're just messing with me. Okay. All right.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This is a parable of playing video games.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
I'll take it.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I won
Okay?
already.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Whoa.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
The COVID line, the COVID grocery store line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
I disagree.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
No,
Hang on.
you're illogical.
That got a bit weird back there.
Totally.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, before.
cut the music. Go back
Why?
and look at that fern. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right?
Yeah.
The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
No, but I'm getting seasick. I already won the game. I already beat you. 427. I think I'll just sit down. I don't like the line. Not one bit. When it was open, it's open right there, 425. No number. Oh, so probably, how about we stay where there's numbers on the wall, on the doors?
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
No!
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. I am losing...
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I'm not. I'm getting dizzy. No doors, just hallways of walls.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Well, okay, I'm getting dumber and dumber by the minute. I am soon to be brain dead. This is like, games like Ghost of Tsushima, right? They give you the wind. Other games give you guiding lights of some kind. Well, can we get up there? You broke the ceiling.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
That wasn't on the right. That was the door straight ahead. The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
15 minutes.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Guess what?
So,
I don't care.
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
So I disagree with everything this man is saying. And I really have had enough. Dude, because I'm going cross-eyed.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm getting cross-eyed and dizzy and dumb because I'm losing brain points. I'm losing brain cells. This is not a game for me.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. And it closes behind me.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay, I'm going to go and have a puff. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, boys and girls. I am. Okay, here's what you're dealing with me. I do not like control freaks. I do not like being controlled. It angers me. It doesn't anger me. It just, I have known control freaks in my life. I have worked with people who try to control me, and I shed them. I shed it. I shed them out of my life. Of all the games that I played, which isn't many, you know, I just started doing this a little bit ago. You know, this channel's only, 2022. This is the only one I don't like. I don't like this game. Not at all. I want to sit here. I'm just going to sit here. I can sit here all damn day. I kick against anything or anybody who tries to control me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, he didn't.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
No,
he might be fired for that.
Not.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
No.
Please. It's all I want.
No.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
I don't have an apartment.
My life
I don't
is
have
normal.
A wife, and I don't have a
I
job.
am normal. Everything will be
Gladly
fine.
and happily.
I am okay.
Yeah, I'm perfect. You, on the other hand, are one nihilistic.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Stanley killed himself. And yet, he's alive.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I'm getting a little interested, but...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, God.
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Who's her?
She's been waiting.
Okay. Here we go. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Do not put your faith in man. They will disappoint you at every chance. Well,
Stanley. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay, you nihilistic bastard.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 427. Press triangle.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
And now he is uninstalling your silly game. It's not silly, it's... All right. Press.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
What a depressing game. Please press X to watch TV. I never watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
How wonderful.
The thought excited him terribly.
Yeah. Press square to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Man, you know, we've played games, a lot of them, all of them, in a godless world, right? All these developers create games, and they leave God out of it. That's the problem.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
A baby?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
I'm actually glad that video games leave God out of it, because the people who make video games don't know God, and you can't write about something you don't know about. And when they do try to represent anything remotely touching, they're scared to death. I think video game makers are scared to death of God. They really are. Because whenever they do touch on it in some way, they always misrepresent it grossly. And, I'll shut up.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. but he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I can sit here all day. Is that all you got? I can sit here all day, man. It looks like I'm already at work, if you ask me. Oh, nice of you to put a chair there. I love Mondays. I love Tuesdays. I love Wednesdays. I love Thursdays and Fridays. I love Saturdays. I love Sundays. I love every day that I wake up. And I'll sit here all day, man. I can do it. I mean, I don't care. Let's sharpen some pencils. They don't have erasers on their pencils. Looks like a picture of like the Swiss Alps. Really sunny outside. I mean, it's so sunny that it just, the sunlight just is blinding. We got anything in here? I'm already at work, game. This is my office. You do realize, game makers, that I can exit and uninstall your game at any time. You do realize that. And that's what you're making me want to do. But, you know, this, look, I do this for the sake of anybody who might still be watching.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
It's clever. It's clever, but it's so nihilistic. Okay, fine. And they want you to just keep going. Wait a second. I gotta...
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That's the best part of the game, right there. That's the best part of the game, right there. They won't let me go in here. That's the best part of the game. Say.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah. And he beat the game already, so here we go. Bravo red or blood red, depends. Well, let's go straight to it this time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Ah, why am I moving so much?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I mean, there is humor. For sure. But, and I see it, I mean, but...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Didn't go down here last time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I don't get the lights. Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Your job does not define who you are. It's just something you do.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah. We did that. I can't remember where it is, but we did that. Where is it? Up there? I can't remember. Because I don't care. I just do not care. Oh, here's the 3. I found a 3. I didn't find a 3 last time. How about a 4? Can you give me a 4? One, two, three. Okay, so we can go 1. We can go 1. I already pushed it. Well, this time we found a 3. Last time we didn't find a 3.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I should have hit on. No, if I hit on, then we keep going.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Happy that the game is over. I'm sorry, man. It's not for me, okay? It's just, oh, for crying out loud. Quit the main menu. I'm gonna step outside and get some fresh air. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm wrapping it up. Look, I know that you could keep going. There's probably, like the game. The game is playing you. Is what's going on here, and that's a no-no with me. I do, as I've said a few minutes ago. I do not like being controlled, and the game's controlling you. And it's really intelligent, and it's really give them points for a great idea for a game, definitely. Great idea for a game, and I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying I don't like it. That's different. Okay, that's two different things. Good Good game, bad game, that's over here. Like it or don't like it, that's over here. So it can be a bad game, or what a lot of people think is a bad game, and you like it, that's fine. It could be a good game. A lot of people say it's a good game and it's critically acclaimed and whatever, but you don't like it. Okay, those are two different things. I don't like this. I could appreciate the humor. The narrator did a great job. Really good, really good job by the narrator. And if that's the same person who wrote it, really good job coming up with something different. And yet different, and yet playing on all the cliche things that happen in video games, or the tropes, video game tropes, and poking fun at them in a way. And that's all. I appreciate all of that, but I didn't like this. As my dad said one time, when I was misbehaving and I got punished for it, I got put on restriction. You probably don't know what being put on restriction is. All my friends at one time, or most of the people I knew from one time or another, would get put on some kind of restriction. It's, in my case, it was 2 weeks. I must have done something really bad to get put on restriction for 2 weeks. But it only lasted a week. I got time off for good behavior. Restriction, you're allowed to go to school. School was, 8 to 3. Left the house around 7:10, walked to school with my friends, and you see lots of your other friends on the way to school. And of course you interact with them at school. And then you have, this is high school, by the way, when this happened. And practice is 3 to 5. You go to practice, get to interact with all your teammates and all that. So it's not like you're in prison. But I'll finish what he said in a minute. I'm just explaining to you what restriction was. You come straight home, you have dinner, you do your homework, and you go to your room. No television. No phone calls. Now, back then, you didn't have phones anyway. The phones stayed on a wall or on a desk somewhere in the house, And when you were out away from the house, if you needed to make a phone call, you used a payphone, a telephone booth. Back in those days. This is the 1960s. I was in high school. Now, so that's restriction. No TV. Nobody had TVs in their kids' rooms. Kids didn't. The TV was in the family room or living room, and it was family time. And the whole family would watch TV. And sometimes we'd have a board game going on, like if there was something on that was decided it was going to be watched. Usually, mom and dad had the final say on it, and you weren't interested in it, or maybe, two of your siblings weren't interested. You could play a board game. You sit there and play a board game while the TV show's on, and wait half an hour for that show to be over. And all right, now, the show I want to see is on. But it was family time. So no TV, no telephone, no incoming calls, no outgoing calls. And you tell your friend, hey man, don't call me for 2 weeks. I won't be able to take your phone call. And I had friends tell me the same, I'm on restriction, man. Don't call me. Don't knock on the door and see if I can come out and go do something, because I can't. So what my dad said to me was, if you can't control yourself, you will be controlled. And the ultimate version of that is prison. So if you can't control yourself, you will be controlled. But no, I'm done, man. I guess I could keep going, and I'm sure it sounds like there's more endings and all of that. But to be honest with you, I am not interested in the least in continuing. I will uninstall the game. I don't now. And that's just me. I hope the people who made this game and worked hard on it, because it is very creative. It's creative thinking. But their point of view and their life point of view is very negative, and incorrect, simply incorrect. But you know, I'm done. I'm done, man. I'm sorry if I'm pooping on a game you love, and it's fine that you love it. I'm glad you do, and it's fine that I don't. So there. Yeah, of all the games I've played on the channel, this is the only one I do not like. I just don't like it, which doesn't mean it's not a good game. I just don't like it. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it very much. We'll see you on the next one, which hopefully doesn't give me a headache. Y'all take care. Have a great day, man. And everything this game says about life is wrong. Remember that. They don't have anything right except unplug yourself. Unplug yourself from the matrix. I'm out of here, man. I'm trying to think of something positive to say to end it. God bless you. God's blessings to you.